Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi, I'm Nabila Rizky Aryani, and today I would like to discuss a book that I read entitled Educated. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so the first question is this. So, based on my experience, it is true that, or in general, we sometimes face a topic, a statement, or something else that we thought that is only in one point of view. For example, when our parents say to look at this, we were actually looking only on the A perspective, but we weren't looking all around the other perspective. So there is this one thing, if I want to pull out in my discussion that will be it is a very sensitive topic. It's the point where one of my parents actually view that we need to always follow our own religion. So I'm not saying that that's not right, but it is right for the sake of ourselves. But at some point, sometimes my parents actually tends to critiques other religion, that the others aren't good and etc. Well, in general, I don't believe in that kind of statement, because at the end it is moving into racism. It is pointing out into discrimination, that they sometimes critiques other religion, which I tend to not follow, because I believe that all religion teaches us good things. All religions never teach us to do bad things, right? And so in this case, I still appreciate and I also respect them and other religions, but it is your religion and it is my religion. So I have no business to do with your religion, and I have no business to do, well, actually I have my own business with my own religion. So it's like you do yours and I do my own religion, so without disturbing one another. So it's called respecting their prayers, and I also need to be respected by them. Okay, here is number 2's question. Now, coming to this, it will be very related, where I am a person who likes to join speech competition as well as giving speeches to my members and to my friends, or etc., or just the way we talk. So at this point, the word voice is everyone's ability, capability, potential, their power, their master. Because your voice, the way you say it, and also what word are you constructing will affect the ability, will affect how far will you convince, influence people, or should I say hypnotize. That's how strong our voice is. So at this point, it is important that every people needs to have their own right to give their own voices, because we don't know that each individual actually have their own uniqueness in terms of constructing a word, in terms of saying out the word, uttering out the word, and in terms of how well they engage the people. And that's how strong we know voice is. Now here's the third question. So speaking of Tara, the main character in the book Educated, we understand that in her background stories, in her background life, their family haven't gone to an education platform given by the government, because they thought that it is a dangerous thing to believe with the government, and so they tend not to go to education. But that was just their scaredness, their fear that they might get hypnotized or convinced. And so Tara, by her own grandma, got convinced to go to education and now feel what is it like to be a student, to be in school. And at that point she realized that education is actually quite fun. Education is very important to actually qualify ourselves in terms of the human resources that's needed in the country or in the area. And so at this point, she may have only gone to one education places in a school, but never went to a higher education, because it may cost on going into or continuing into their studies But at the moment, she also realized that she loved a topic, which is politics and the public's opinion. And so at this point, she wants to actually continue, although this was the issue that actually stumbled, or should I say slower her down. And like I said, she only went to one education field. So this actually shows that education is not a dangerous place, because it is the providence of the government or also the people, because we need to be educated. We need to at least know all these knowledge that can help us that can help us as an individual. And so meeting up with people is already about the relation, creating bonding session of the society. And that is one of the important part and the important element in our life, where we have also soft skill that we need to train in terms of always training hard skills on our intellect and other knowledge. I don't know how long was that, but this is the last question. So here's the last question. So basically this question is actually pointing to me as an individual that have there ever been any people that tend to tell me to do this or to do that? Actually, there's a lot of people. First off is Sir Yunaldi. Sir Yunaldi is my English teacher back at senior high school, and he told me to continue my study to master degree and also abroad. And I wasn't really thinking about that, because I've actually have small dreams. At least I need to fulfill in my life, and that's because I got convinced by not only my parents but many other society, where they said that women, how high you will go through in education or even in your studies, you will always go back in the kitchen and serve the family, right? And I am not saying that that's wrong. It is actually true, because we'll be a housewife in a family one day. But the issue here is, just because we are forcibly going to be in the kitchen at the future does not mean that it's going to stop us from our future career. So it's about multitasking, the way you need to hold two responsibility. And I've already felt that kind of moment when I was at high school, where I was holding my organization as well as my school, and those two were actually equally heavy and equally important to myself, which is why at the end I still managed to do it, but I don't really give a lot from both of them. But that's how life is. Although on the last sentence, we need to be also good at something. So which one is more important? Being good at something or being good at everything? So that's actually the real question that may be pointed out right now. For me, I think it is better to be good at something more than be good at everything, because the moment when you are good at something, you become professional on that thing. But if you are good at everything, sometimes these power that you have, for example, you have 5 skills, they're not expanded well enough. Or should I say, maybe you're good at editing, but you're not really good at speaking, and you're not really good at writing, and etc. So at this point, yes, these are important, but we need to also be striving through what we need to have. Just like at university, they specify a major, they specify a faculty, because we need to really focus on that thing. And also, if you are focused on that thing, for example, like my major, English, there are also other skills that you need to be master of, because And English as a language, you must be good at speaking, writing, listening, reading, in the grammar, and the linguistics. And if it's an education side, you must be good at teaching, knowing the student's behavior, and many more. So there's actually a lot to be done, and we have to fulfill those kind of components. So start doing it now, because time is always running. Thank you very much for watching the video. I hope it is beneficial for all of us, and I would like to end this by saying wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye.